Are they press-ons?
They're press-ons.
Girl.
Mm-hmm. Girl, I'm busy.
It's me again on my own podcast, the Relebogile Mabotja Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited for today's guest. But first, if you have not subscribed, please do so. Hit the notification bell and don't forget you can become a member. Check out all of the details on my YouTube so that you can get exclusive behind the scenes content and other things as well. But today I'm so excited. She is a songstress. I have watched her grow and perform and just be phenomenal. Moneoa is in the building. How are you feeling, girl? You look good.
I'm just happy to be here with you, girl.
Oh,
you warm my heart. You make the mood pleasant.
So thank you for coming firstly. And also just there is something that you remind me of every time you sing. Me being a millennial, the era of the R&B that we are from.
Oh, honey.
That soul.
Oh, honey.
That is just...
That's soulful R&B.
Yes.
Like even house was soulful back then.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it almost felt like sped up R&B songs.
Yeah.
And every time I see you or just think about your music, you just remind me of that era where almost like nothing really matters.
Yeah.
But where the R&B was, they were romanticizing cheating on one another. Like, I got my girl at home, you got your man too, but it's time to kiss and say goodbye, baby. Like that era where everything felt so romantic.
Yeah, they even like the sexual connotation in music and lyrics. It was there, but it was like light.
Yeah.
That era was like light. It was like, it was like, girl, you want to come to my hotel?
Yes.
Baby, I'm going to give you the room key. I mean, we know what he's saying, but like, it's light. Today it's something else, man.
Moneoa was in the era of there's a meeting in my bedroom.
Love that song.
But on a serious note, where did you go? I mean, you and I was so fortunate to have met you Afro Cafe time.
Oh my
Anything
word.
I threw in your direction.
Saying Afro Cafe to me is like saying like, what's that that childhood ghost?
Oh.
Like in our day, my
Pinky. Really?
What?
Why?
Like you sound like you're talking about the boogeyman. When last, babe?
It was so long ago.
When last? And I miss it so much.
You took every challenge that I threw at you, and I was like, please do this song.
No, babes, you know what? You really did throw me some challenges. Yeah, it was quite tough, but no, I am a good competitor.
Do you feel like we are missing out on some of the music programs that we used to have? Because I feel like Afro Cafe was just its own iconic thing, and it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But that being able to go somewhere, have a full band, and just perform live for TV with an audience.
Honestly speaking, I don't watch a lot of TV nowadays, so I don't really know what's out there. I don't know what to compare that to, but I really do feel like like that era for me was just top tier when it came to productions and also just anything. It was top tier.
You at some point, I mean, you came out, you blew everybody away with just how smooth and soulful your vocals are. Even your runs do not feel forced.
Yeah.
Your runs feel effortless and easy.
I wish I thought that about myself.
What do you mean?
Like, I hear what you're saying. I feel like yes, I agree that now I have mastered my voice. I'm far better. I'm a far better singer than I was back then.
Yes.
And I suppose it's part of the process, the growth. It's a gradual process. But back then, when I look at my videos from like Afro Cafe and back then, I'm just like, oh, come on, girl, you're off key here, or this run was a bit off, or whatever. Like, it wasn't it for me, live performance-wise. I love my music, and I love my life back then as well. But like, just when it comes like with like, mastering my voice, I don't know, man.
But don't you think Beyonce also looks back and is like, girl, you could have sung Dangerously in Love a lot better. Because of the growth.
Yeah, true.
But for me, there was also a certain innocence in how you sang. There was a certain innocence, and I can't even specifically say how, but there was a certain innocence about you, and maybe it's just innocence in the industry, innocence just in as general, a woman, that I just appreciated who you were at that time. Because when you perform or put yourself out there having been burnt before, it's not the same as when you come out raw and you're yourself.
I was about to say I was innocent back then. I was inexperienced. So yeah, I suppose that it had to come out in the way that I sang, because that's who I was. I was an innocent, naive,
young lady,
young little lover of life.
Yes.
Now I am, hey, Sana.
When you look back, or rather, when you sing songs that you had written back then, and perform them, how different are the meanings now? Because I'm sure the meanings have evolved.
They have. More Than You especially resonates so differently to me than the way it did when I initially started singing it. Because I wrote it, so More Than You, everybody thinks that More Than You is a love song. It's not. It's actually a song whereby I suppose I'm comforting myself.
Yes.
I had a very broken relationship with someone who should have been a bit more significant in my life, or at least they should have played their role more significantly, and they didn't. And I was just tired of being disappointed by him, over the years. My father, I'll say it. I was talking about my dad. And, my dad, I didn't grow up with him in my life. He was an absent father. But when I moved to Joburg to come and live here with my mom, we established a relationship. I was about 19 when I established a stable relationship and consistent relationship with my father. So there was a lot. Like there was a lot of things that I didn't unpack with him, and there was a lot of things that he was also like just used to doing. He was also set in his ways. We established that we're going to work on our relationship, but he was set in his ways. We didn't grow up together. He wasn't there. So those parts of him would come out a lot. And it was very frustrating for me, because it's like, I've been waiting all my life to have this relationship, and now you're not even like putting in 100% effort, So I wrote the song about him, and he had disappointed me for the umpteenth time. And I was just so sick of it, and I was so sad, and I was so depressed. And also, my father grew up with my brother, my half brother, my brother, who he was close to, and they lived a very different life to the one that I lived growing up in Durban with my mom. We struggled with my mom. My father and my brother lived in mansions. My brother went to private schools. So there was also that comparison as well. And it was like, it hit me around age 21, where I was like, why didn't you love me? Why weren't you there for me? And you could be a father to my brother, but you couldn't be that to me. So that's what I'm sort of comforting myself in the song. And I'm like, you know what? Even though this person didn't love you, I'm going to love more. Even though this person didn't want to be part of your life, I'm going to live more, type of thing. So if you listen to the lyrics, sweet, sweet child, I'm comforting myself. I'm talking to myself.
And people think it's a love song.
Everybody's like, oh my God, this is dedicated to my boyfriend. I'm like, no, girl, no.
Oh my gosh. You were singing to the inner child in you.
I was singing to my inner child.
So now that it's years later, what is that relationship with your father like now?
My father passed away in 2014. Yeah.
And how did that hit you?
I was devastated, but it was so complicated. Particularly regarding the way that he passed. It was extremely complicated.
Yeah.
My father, I don't know if I want to say this. Oh Lord. Oh Father God. My father took his own life. And that was also kind of like another, for the longest time it was, I've let it go now.
Yes.
But it was also kind of like a punch to the gut, because it's like, dude, this is all the time we had.
Yes.
You were already absent for like a significant amount of my life, and now you're leaving me again. And I was angry at him. I was very, very angry at him whilst mourning him. So it was very complicated. It was like, you're angry at this person, but you're also devastated that he's gone. But you're also asking yourself so many questions like, why? Like, why couldn't you just live for me? Why wasn't I enough to motivate you not to do this, you know? Because you're going to leave me behind. I need you, you know?
Yes.
So it was complicated. Mourning my father it's still complicated when I think about him. It's still it's a weird feeling. It's bizarre. I don't know how to describe it other than that, as it's just bizarre, because it's like a whole bunch of different feelings.
Which are all equally valid. I mean, I lived with friends in boarding school, 2 of them who had a parent who took their own life. Outside of the stigma and all of the things that go with it, they all consistently say what you just said.
Yeah.
Which was, why wasn't I enough for you to live for, right? And I've thought about that so much, and it's weird because what I took out of it, now being a parent, which was, I never want my child to be my reason for living, because I must live. That's too big a burden to place on my child, right? So whenever I'm going through rough patches, my motivation is not like, oh, my child needs me, because I'm responsible for myself. So maybe I'm sharing this with you to say, the burden to put on a child to be the reason that you live or fight whatever demons and challenges you are facing might have been worse than grief. And you might not know that.
Absolutely, I agree.
You know?
I agree. It's just looking back. Also, I just think a huge part of me, as much as I'm an adult now, I'm a grown woman, a huge part of me, especially the parts of me that still get triggered by my childhood traumas. A huge part of me is kind of childlike, especially where my parents are concerned. My father is a huge trigger for me. I try not to think of him at all, because those thoughts will come to my mind. And you make a valid point, an absolutely valid point, but it's sort of hard to make peace with that when, you know, this person when I suppose, in my experience with my father, he literally missed out on 19 years of my life.
It's abandonment. It was rejection.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I hear what you're saying, but for me, it still tugs at, it still affects the little girl inside me.
And I also think it's okay if it affects the grown you, because like what you said is like, you turn 19, you have now this opportunity to start something afresh, and then to be disappointed again. Then another disappointment. I mean, it's completely valid. I cannot even begin to imagine what that might feel like, and what guilt or shame or whatever else you carry. Like, you being angry is valid. It's valid.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's valid. And I mean, I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you.
I can't even imagine, because I don't think it's a pain that you get over, that you just learn to live with.
Yeah, I've been to therapy about it. I'm still working on it. You know, I'm a work in progress, but I have forgiven my father. I have a lot. Maybe not I've forgiven him a little bit.
Okay. It's an ongoing...
Not the whole forgiveness, but...
Yes.
Not the whole forgiveness, sorry. But yeah, I have forgiven him to a certain degree. I go to his grave, I put flowers there, I talk to him, I tell him I miss him, I'll sit there, I'll play some songs, I'll bring a speaker, I'll have like a little picnic sometimes, and I'll speak to him. So, you know, I have forgiven him to a certain degree.
What's your relationship with your brother like, especially with your dad being gone?
Complicated. Very, very complicated. I have a brother and a sister, from 2 brothers and a sister from my father's side, and we all met late. We all met like when we were like grown. Like,
really?
Yeah. I never knew them growing up. So it's complicated. It's been hard to maintain a close relationship with them. I think the fact that we grew up in different households has a lot to do with that. We're just not used to each other like that. And also being lunged into a relationship with somebody that technically you're supposed to be closer to, you feel like you have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
You know, and now when I established a relationship with my sister, I feel like I overwhelmed her because I was just like, we're in a rush. We have to get close. We have to catch up. We missed out on all these years, and that caused a lot of problems between us. So it's been tough. But I mean, we all love each other. I love my siblings. I know that they love me, and we're still working on it.
Yeah.
But it's been tough.
It's been real. How did that whole, being us girls, we will always see our daddy wounds in our intimate partner relationships. I know.
Girl.
I have them. How
Where's the water? Where is the water? I need to gulp a bottle before we start this
water
conversation.
order, please. Water. Let's get some water.
Maybe a shot. While you're at it.
And I can comfortably say this because I have seen it in myself.
Same.
And I also, and I speak about my dad all the time. We have a very good relationship right now. But all those things have impacted that intimate partner relationship with me.
100%.
Right? And that's all what I can say.
You see that I felt it, babes. I know what that meant. That to me was like a whole sentence. It was a whole thesis.
The reason that I even say is because when you start to truly like notice how your brain works around relationships with men and how it's a conditioning that now you understand it intellectually, it doesn't automatically fix that part of you. So let's say in the case of myself that I did not feel I was enough. So I would show up in relationships feeling like I have to constantly prove I'm enough. And if the person disappointed me, even in a way that was not personal to me, it was like, I knew I'm not enough. I'm not enough. Okay, I need to be more. I need to be more.
It's pretty much the same with me as well. Except for me, I have a very domineering personality. And I have learned over the years to be softer. I've had to teach myself to be softer. And the reason being because, growing up with my mom and my brother, my mom was a single mom, and she had to raise 2 kids, on her own. It was tough. It was really, really tough for her. And so she couldn't always be there. She couldn't always, I suppose, fill the void of my father's absence. And so my relationship with her back then was also quite complicated. And so I felt like a very, very abandoned child. And so as a result of that, I always told myself that, everybody else can disappoint me. My attitude has always been, I will never be the type of person to disappoint themselves. So you have to kind of almost think of yourself as a superhero in a sense, to be able to, maneuver around life with that mentality.
Yes.
And so that paired with the fact that I'm a very strong woman naturally. I come from a generation of strong women. My grandmother being like my hero. She was like, oh, that's another topic. We'll talk about her later, but she's amazing. She passed away back in 1995, but she was like my idol, my icon. And, I think about those things and they empower me as well. And so I suppose when it came to my relationships with men, also, I was raised by women. My mom's friends were also there for me. They were also like mothers to me. So my relationships with men, up until that one relationship, I never really cared much for them, if I'm being honest. I don't think I ever, looking back now, I think I dated for the sake of, my friends are doing it. And, this is what you're supposed to do at a certain age. You go out with a boy. And, sometimes I was attracted to boys. So, I was just like, okay, well, he's cute. Why not? Boyfriend, girlfriend. But I was never really emotionally invested. I never really cared for them at all, if I'm being honest.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was slightly different for me. I I would say that I was probably the one in the wrong because I just did not have a care in the world for men.
Isn't that maybe because you were a little bit detached? Because if you allowed yourself to be attached to somebody that now has the power to hurt or disappoint you,
right,
puts you in a vulnerable position.
Probably. And also, yes, actually you're right. And also just because I grew up feeling abandoned, I suppose it was kind of like, and also specifically feeling abandoned the most by a man, it was kind of like, yeah, let me not get too attached, because you're probably not gonna love me or fulfill me the way that I need to be fulfilled anyways. So yeah, I wasn't really invested in any engagement with men in general. Honestly, like I was terrible. I was quite terrible. I don't want to get into details.
Yes.
The past is the past. We will leave it there. But up until one relationship, I mean, I'm a good person. I'm actually over exaggerating. I wasn't terrible because some people don't know me personally, so they might just take that in the literal sense.
And imagine the worst. Yes.
No, I wasn't terrible. I was emotionally unavailable. Let me put it that way.
And that's fair. I think that's fair in terms of just how you're being honest about it. So when you met the man that you did become emotionally available to, what was so different that you allowed yourself to be that way?
I don't know what happened because nothing significant happened, but I suppose it was the right time to fall in love. He just blew me away. I was so into him. I fell head over heels in love. He was actually the only man that I had ever loved back then. I've loved again.
Really?
Yes. I'm in love now. But like back then, I was about 27 when I met him. I would say that he was my first love, and he was just such an intriguing character, and he was smart, and he dressed well, and he smelled great, and he had my kind of dark sense of humor.
Yes.
And I loved that, like, we became friends immediately. Like, I didn't feel like, when I was with him, I didn't feel like I was on a date with a man or on a date with a boy. I felt like I was with my boy. Like, what's up, dog? You know, type of thing. And I'd never had something like that before. And also, I was really attracted to him. Yeah. And he tailored himself. I now know that he wasn't even 80%, if not probably all of what he pretended to be. He tailored himself. I suppose he probably observed me for a while as well and started to tailor himself into more and more of the type of person that he thought I wanted. Yes. And so the more our relationship evolved, the harder I fell because he was getting to know me. So he would, make things up or play a role to make me even more, in love with him. Yeah. Looking back, in retrospect, I realize that's pretty much what he did. But I did fall hard, Shame. Those feelings were real. Like, I fell hard. And the relationship wasn't always bad, we had some good times. In the end, it was terrible. Worst relationship of my life. But for the most part, well, in the beginning, it was bliss. It was pure bliss. It was really like a proper love encounter for me. And
when I remember the day where I don't know what I was doing randomly online, and I see a video of you. I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't seen her in a while.
Lord.
And in this video, I got sucked in because it was a long video, and I was just like, Ghana, we don't know what people are walking around with. We don't know what people are dealing with.
Yeah.
So for those who didn't get a chance to see that video, talk us through what transpired when bliss started to no longer be bliss. Because, at the beginning of a relationship, it's very easy to show the best parts of yourself.
Yeah.
And then when the mask falls, which it always will for everybody, because you have your public self, your private self for the people that are in your inner circle, then you have your secret self that you only show yourself. But as soon as the masks start falling and you start to see a person for who they are, things can be very different. So what happened? It was bliss, and then what happened?
Ooh, okay. Disclaimer.
Yes.
I don't want to dwell too much on this topic, not because I'm going to talk about it, because I think that we need to talk about it. I want to unpack it. But I also decided, like, after that whole life situation, that I don't want to be the poster child for this story.
Yes.
You know, because now it feels like people talk about this more than they do about, like,
your music.
my music.
Yes.
It's just shifted the focus. So that's why I'm just like, I want to keep it brief.
Yes, please, by all means, as brief as you would like it to be.
Okay, cool. Sorry, what was your question again?
Okay, let's take a deep breath.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
So in essence, you truly fell in love for the first time.
Yes.
But the relationship took a twist which drove you to go live on Instagram.
Yes.
And reveal the fact that you were in an abusive relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all of this happened over a time span of, I met him in 2017. I did the live in 2022. So that's
5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, roughly 5 years. So, and also there's like breaks in between, because we had been broken. By the time I did the live, we had been broken up for about 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
and it can take that long to
want to speak out.
Yes.
Yeah. So I met him in 2017. We fell head over heels in love. I would like to believe it was mutual, because we were both crazy about each other. And it was a great relationship for about a typical, you meet somebody, you fall in love, you have fun together, the relationship's going well for about 6 months. And then a few months after that, we started arguing. It started with arguments, and then arguments turned into threats. And then threats turned into physical abuse.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think once the abuse started, the relationship was doomed from then onwards, even though we both did hold on. But I feel like once the physical abuse started, the relationship was doomed.
And there's something you said, as you're talking, I remembered something you said which was so powerful, and I think affirming for other women who might have gone through what you did. What you said was, the worst part is that this person abused you, then he'd go off. Now you're in this state of vulnerability, and the only person you need
was him.
Is the same person who put you in that position.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, that is why abusive cycles continue. Because people don't understand, and they'll say, well, if he was so bad, why didn't you leave? It's like, you don't understand the complex layers of the fact that somebody hitting you doesn't instantly make you not love them.
Yes.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It does not instantly make you not love them.
There's a quote by Lauryn Hill where she was doing the speech at Harvard years ago, and she goes, sometimes you're in a situation with somebody and that person is beating you, and you don't realize that the person that's beating you is in more pain than you are. And I was like, and I'd always held on to that. I'd always, remembered that statement that she made, and I suppose I used it as a crutch for our relationship, for my relationship with him as well. That he grew up traumatized. He had a complicated childhood. He's stressed at work. He's taking care of everybody in his life. He's got a lot going on. So I'm the closest person to him. He's just taking it out on me. I had many excuses when it came to that. So yeah, it was. I know now that it was doomed the minute he put his hands on me, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to unsee or unexperience that. And trauma is just, I've had trauma before. Because I've had childhood traumas, trauma just doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't. But I didn't know that at that time,
What was the final thing that made you say, I'm done? Because we know it doesn't just happen like that overnight. What was the final straw? And sometimes people think a final straw is a big thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes the final straw is maybe the way somebody was breathing at breakfast, where you're like, I can't. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I think sometimes people want a person to be like, the day he almost killed me was when I was done. But it isn't always that. Yeah,
he went to Montreal to the jazz festival, which was something that we were planning, me and him were planning to do together.
Yeah.
And he went to the Montreal Jazz Festival for his birthday with another woman. And he claimed that he was going to Montreal for business, only to find out that he was attending the jazz festival that week with his business partner.
So how did you discover?
I figured it out. He took pictures with Quincy Jones. He went to certain places. And also the thing is, like, he's not a very good liar. You know, he was not a very good liar. So I could pick up when he would lie. Because also we were living together, so he would lie to other people while I was there. Like, he'd lie on the phone while I was there. So you pick up on stuff like that. So I knew that he was lying to me as well. I was aware. So I think by the time he got back, I was just like,
nope.
Yeah, there's nothing here. There's really nothing here.
What was the reason you decided to speak about it when you did?
I felt like I had no choice, Relebogile. I felt like I had no choice. I had been silent for years. I tried to plead with this person. I tried to be patient with this person. I tried to plead with this person's family. I asked my mom to reach out to his mom. I asked my uncle to reach out to his dad.
Let's give context as to what you were pleading for.
So I was pleading for him to cover the costs that he owed me, which is the debt with the 2 cars and me having lost my belongings that he took charge of. He took my belongings and put them in storage. He put his details there, his address, his email, his number. So and then he stopped paying.
Got lost,
and then he stopped paying. So obviously they don't have my details. You're the one who registered yourself as the owner of the storage unit.
Yes.
And so my stuff is in there. None of his stuff were in there. My stuff was in there. And he got all these warnings by email, calls, this,
didn't
SMS.
Say anything.
Didn't say a word. So you are liable. You owe me, you know. So I'd been trying to get him to pay me back. I'd been trying to get him to return my car. I still don't have my car till this day. Oh, girl, you know the justice system is rigged. All you have to do is have one person in your pocket and you can get away with anything. Because I've been opening cases. And this is part of the reason why I don't like talking about it, because I feel like such a broken telephone at this point. Like, I'm over it.
What did his family say when you were asking for things, for your things?
His mother would tell me that she's frustrated with him, that she is also sick and tired of him. That, in fact, she would always tell me that, you know, he never deserved me.
So today, as we sit here, where are you with the ending of that relationship? Are you still pursuing things legally, or are you like, I'm done, I'm moving on with my life?
You know, that live was my saving grace. After I did that live, people came like out of nowhere and offered all kinds of assistances.
Really?
Yeah, I got a new car, girl. I got my car.
What?
I got another range, girl. I got another range.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, from an angel of God. I don't want to talk about him, but he honestly, he knows who he is. I just want to say thank you to him for that. And my family helped as well, my friends. I got a new clientele. I've got a great clientele. I've been working with people like DNA brand architects who also have, you know, been helping me. Multi-Choice as well has been booking me. I got back into studio.
Yes.
I released a song. So I'm back. I wouldn't say I'm where I was when I met him. I was in a far better place then, but I'm definitely working my way up. I'm in a far better place, and I feel like, you know, there has to be a lesson in that. So I've just decided to let it go. And also just going back and forth about it. This person does not want to give back my car. This person does not want to pay what they owe me. You know, and I've tried the lawful route. I've tried, and it's gotten ugly, and I'm tired. I'm also just tired. So I've decided to let go and let God.
What happened to the music? Because at some point,
the producers still won't give it to me.
So you have recorded music. How many songs are we talking?
9.
That are sitting.
No, 8, sorry, because I've got access to 1.
That you can't get access to your music.
They won't give me the separates, because they weren't paid. Oh, and there was
People that he was supposed to pay, by the way.
Yeah, and then also there was an incident with another song on the album. So we met while we were together, because remember I was signed to him.
Yes.
While we were together, we met this lady at a jazz club in Newtown, and she wrote, and she had this song called Ngowamlo that she was performing in. My ex, he was like, "Oh, this is such a nice song. I think we should put it on your album." And I was like, "Cool, boss. Do what you do." And so he had a meeting with this lady. He went up to her and the guy who owns the club, and they scheduled a meeting. And then he went to that meeting. I never attended any of these meetings, but he would come back and give me feedback. And he told me that, he told the lady that he wants the song. So she's going to give us just the chorus part, and then I'm going to write my own verses and bridge. And so we recorded the song, sang her chorus, wrote my own verses and bridge. And I was under the impression, so he said that he paid her. He said that he paid her X amount, that they signed up a contract, and the deal was done. Only to find out years later, last year specifically, that that lady never agreed to give me her song and that she was never paid. So she came at me via email, swearing at me, saying that I stole her song, only to find out that she wasn't paid. And I called her, I had a meeting with her, and she told me, no, yes, I know that you were, I'm aware that you weren't at any of the meetings. And I'm like, yeah, so how could I have known?
Yes.
And she's like, because I assumed your partner was telling you. And I was like, he was telling me a different, he told me that you gave him the song. He told me that he paid you a certain amount of money. You guys even had drinks afterwards. And then it was happy times. Only to find out none of that ever happened. She never agreed to give him the song.
So how much do the producers want if you want your music?
I'll have to check the paperwork.
Is it something you want to pursue?
No.
To get it back? Mm-mm. You're letting it go.
Mm-hmm. The music is in me, sis. Like, I am the talent. If I could create an album before, I can create another one. I have many songs in my archives right now on my phone that are yet to be produced, that I've written, beautiful songs, better songs.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving. I've just made the decision to leave the past in the past because it's too painful for me. That was one of the most painful things that I've ever gone through, and having to go back, even talking about it, is such a huge trigger for me. It's painful, like it nudges at my heart. Also because I don't live my life thinking about those things. On a daily basis, like in my new apartment, in my new car, my new life, now at this point in my life, I'm so happy. I am so happy, and I prayed for days like this where I could wake up and not feel like absolute bleep.
Yeah.
You know, where I could wake up.
Don't worry, we swear here.
Okay, yeah, and not feel like absolute.
Yes.
You know, there was a time where I, like, literally every day I was depressed, babes. There was a time where 10 o'clock would hit and I would have to have a glass of wine.
In the morning?
Just to cope. Yes, just to cope through the day. I couldn't go through the day without at least having something, a glass of wine, a spliff. I don't even smoke weed, by the way. I don't like it, but I had to like find a way to cope because my anxiety was killing me. I was depressed, I was sad, I was crying every 5 minutes. I couldn't cope. It was really bad. Like that whole era, there's so many things that I didn't cover in that life. But guys, that person ruined my life. It wasn't just, I was still even mourning the relationship, sis. There was a point where, in between, because remember, as much as, yes, you made the decision to walk away from this relationship, doesn't mean that you just poof, unlove that person and those memories go away. And what you've built throughout that time, it doesn't go away. So whilst you're angry at them, whilst you're frustrated with them and fighting with them about this and that, you're also still mourning. You know, you're also still hearing things, he's with his new this, his new that. And those things, see at your heart. So it was the worst time of my life. And so I try not to go back there. I wouldn't say I've compartmentalized it, but I just try not to visit it at all. Because it's just something, it's a version of me that it's hard to look back at. It's hard to think of myself that way. And another thing I wanted to say is I'm like, because I was abandoned as a child, I wasn't abandoned, sorry, my mother never abandoned me.
Yes.
Because I felt emotionally abandoned as a child. I am the strongest person I know Remember when I said, like, I made a vow to myself that I would never, ever, ever allow I would never, ever allow me to disappoint myself.
Yes.
I'm not the type of woman who will, like, I'm not weak. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you look back at, like, my tertiary years, I had quite a reputation.
Really?
Oh, what?
Really?
This Moneoa, anybody in Joburg knows that I wasn't the one to play with.
For real?
Girl.
How do I not know this about you?
Girl, that's because I wasn't out there like that. But, like, I wasn't.
So are you saying if I need to sort someone out, I must just
Lalela, babes, me. Yamazi, do you know Avengers? Do you know Thor, darling? Captain America. Black
I did not know.
Yeah, babes. I'm a tough woman. That's why that relationship broke me, because it was the first time I felt literally weakened by a human being. I felt completely weak. It was deeper than just him hitting me and cheating on me and saying things about me and conning me and scamming. It was more than that. It was the fact that, like, I let this situation get to me to a point where it rearranged my entire life. And me as a human being. Like, I'm not the type of person, like, if I always imagine that if a man ever put his hands on me,
you'd hit him right back.
I will. What? Me? I'm tough, babes. I'm not the type of girl who's gonna sit there and go, oh, don't hit me. But that thing was a rude awakening for me. That relationship was a rude awakening for me, because it's different. It's different when you're square with a man. You're not. It's like people who say, yeah, if I was ever in a situation where somebody tried to rape me or something,
I'll fight them off.
But then when you're in that situation, I've heard from rape victims that you freeze. Yeah. You literally freeze, and I understand.
Also, it's the shock, the disbelief
that this is happening to you.
Let's say it started with him hitting you, the shock that just, like, what the is going on right now?
Right.
You almost are watching it happen to you, and you're like,
yeah. So like, looking back on it, it's just like, this person really crippled me in so many ways. It's not just that you took away my, like, something that I took pride in, something that I prided myself of. Is that correct English?
Yeah, you took pride in something that I took pride in.
Something that I took pride in, yeah,
yes,
which was my strength. Like, I felt like a superwoman for many years. And in that relationship, I felt so weak, babes. I felt like a nobody.
Can I replace the word weak with vulnerable?
Vulnerable.
Yes, because I still think the fact that, firstly, you're alive, thank God you survived.
Yeah.
That a lot of people will feel like freezing or fawning is weakness, which also I'm of the belief that sometimes God positions you in a way and does things in a way to protect you. Because let's say the fighter in you did come out. One of you might not have your lives right now. You know what I mean?
Hey,
and it's scary.
And I've heard horror stories like that.
It's scary.
So that's true.
It's scary. But I want to focus on, how did you start building yourself out of that space, which, depression, feeling like you always need something to help you just get through a day.
Yeah.
Probably waiting by the phone for some development, for something. How did you get out of that? I know there are lots of people who are watching that maybe are finding themselves in that situation of, like, not necessarily an abusive relationship, but just feeling like the rug has been pulled from under you and you are just like, what the
Well, for me, I was lucky. I got busy, So after I did that live, the bookings came in, other opportunities came in. People wanted to sponsor my music, my sessions, stuff like that. So I got busy. I was lucky in that sense. I really would not know how to advise someone who is in that situation, who isn't in my position. I was lucky because I'm a musician, I'm a public figure. And so when I came out to the public and I said, guys, help me, people decided to help. So I got busy. One thing led to another, and then I started saving. Within about 2 months of the live, I had moved out of my mom's place and into my apartment. Yeah. And then I think I got my car in December. I did the live in, I think it was around September, August. Yeah, I think I did the live around September, August, end of August, September, around there. So by December, I had my car, I had my apartment. I was furnishing my apartment at the time. It's fully furnished now. I got really, really busy. And so I just woke up one day in my apartment and I realized that I hadn't cried in like 2 months. And I was like, I didn't wake up and want a glass of wine this morning. Hey, I feel like going to take a jog. I feel like going to gym. Went and registered myself at gym, got myself a trainer, started training and got back into netball. Just got busy.
Talk to me about netball.
I could talk all day about netball. Why did we start with netball?
Because firstly, I didn't even know you're so into netball.
Oh, babe, I've been playing since I was 6.
So which team do you play for right now?
I play for like 5 different teams.
What do you mean?
So I play for 2 teams officially. I play at Hillfox for the Vixens, and then I play at Old Parks for Flyballers, and then I'm a permanent sub for other
these are
teams.
like leagues?
Yeah, these are like leagues.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm at Hillfox on Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm at Old Parks on Thursdays and Sundays for social, and then on Fridays I'm at Discovery in Sandton.
Are you a goal attack?
I am.
I can see it! Unale that.
I'm a goal attack mainly, and goal defense mainly, but I play goal shooter and goalkeeper as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you are a pro netball player?
Our leagues are not really pro leagues, but I was a pro netball player in high school. I used to play for provincials, Durban provincials, KwaZulu-Natal provincials. Sorry, I played under 17, and then I played under 21. Yeah. But yeah, I play in the league, but like our league is like, it's moms, it's, older women, younger women.
Yes.
It's not like proper. It's not like
you guys are not
Super
getting
League.
like R1 million to win a league.
No. We're getting like a free season. The next season we get it for free type of thing.
So what has netball done for you, like going back and playing?
It saved my life. It's a sport that I love. It's a tactical sport, and so I love it. I'm a very tactical person. I'm very agile, and I love it. I love it for that. And also, it's a fun sport. It's nice. I like it. And it's a nostalgic sport for me because I played it when I was a child. So there's also that. But also, it's just kept me so busy, and it's and fun. Busy doing something fun that I love. So. It was part of the people and things that saved my life. Music is one of them as well. Netball, my family, my friends, my support system. Like even, I have a cat. I didn't adopt her officially, but I was sleeping at like 3 a.m. this one time, and she came and meowed outside my window, and now I'm a pet owner.
You're a cat mom? I did not see that coming.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
Goodness, I didn't see that
She
coming.
literally comes to my place every day now, and I bought her like that little cat bed thing, and I have a cat. I never really wanted a cat, but I have one now.
Why do I feel like your cat, you are the side of the cat, and the cat has a mane?
I feel like the cat has a mane, but I don't know. Like, she doesn't have... So she has a collar, but she doesn't have a name on it. So I call her Mila. But I heard the security call her Mrs. Scallywag the one time.
That cat is playing you.
She is.
But
she is.
But you like it.
But she still comes. Every day she'll come and she'll be like... And I'll be like, where you been? Where do you come from? Is that jelly? Is that tuna that I see on the side of your face? You've been cheating on me?
What's happening next with the music? What is on your heart that you are writing about right now?
I always write about my experiences. I write about what I'm going through. I wrote a lot of songs about that experience as well.
Yes.
I felt like it was necessary for me to just revisit it for the purpose of being creative in the studio. So some of the songs are deep, child. Some of the songs are deep. Please, guys, just prepare your hearts. Prepare your hearts. Just drink water before you listen to my music.
Yes.
But mainly, it's mainly what I went through then. I feel like, I want to update my music as well. And then also just writing about my life. I'm writing about my current experiences, and yeah, you'll have to buy the album to find out.
You mentioned that you are in love right now. What does it feel like after going through something so difficult to open your heart up again to another person?
It's been surprisingly easy.
Really?
Yeah. I think because it took me so long to fall in love, after, that relationship went left, I didn't think I had it in me to fall in love again. But I think it's always been in me. I think I want love, and I actually like being in love. It's actually such a wonderful, thrilling feeling. And so when I met this man, when I met this man, initially it wasn't as fast as with my previous relationship. It didn't happen as quickly, but he's really surprised me over time. I love that man.
Look, I love it for you. What would you like everybody watching to know about you right now? What would you want to share with everybody? And it can be anything.
The one thing top of my head is, guys, I'm okay. Like, I'm fine. Ever since that live, every time people see me, it's always like, oh, are you okay? And I feel like now I'm the poster child for sadness. No, I'm fine, guys. Like, it happened. I had to go through it. It was a life lesson. It's part of life. But I'm fine. Like, when you see me out, please don't come to me wanting to talk about deep things. Like, sometimes I just want to be out with my friends, tossing drinks and throwing my booty back. You know what I mean? I just want to throw my ass back in peace. Don't come at me with deep things when I'm trying to de-stress, And also just know that I'm fine. I really am fine. I'm not just saying that. I really am okay. I'm happy. Well, not always, but no one's always happy. But I'm in a really good place. I'm in the place that I prayed for. That's Sierra's prayer. It's unfolding right now. So just let me enjoy. Yes, let me enjoy. Like, don't feel bad for me. I've got new music dropping, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the next chapter of my life.
What about the acting, girl? Because
I need to get back into that.
We've seen you on our screens.
Me.
We've been so you're putting it out to the universe.
Help me! I'm asking you. Help me.
Okay, guys, Moneoa needs a role.
I need a role.
Write something beautiful.
Please.
Something meaty.
Please, doch. I really want to do something, and I want to do something like, something fresh, kind of like, I want to bring like the concept of Insecure.
Yes.
Have you ever seen Insecure?
Yes. Oh my gosh,
I would love to do something like that. Yeah, but a Joburg version, like a Mzansi one.
An Issa Rae vibe in Josie.
Just, something relatable to like our current lives now as people, as women. So I would love something like that. But guys, please, like, I want to act so bad. I have revamped my portfolio.
Yes.
So I sent it to a few production houses. I had an audition. I had 2 auditions last year, which is better than the nothing I've had. And so I'm hoping that maybe I'll get a few calls for some more auditions this year, and then hopefully callbacks and eventually a role.
I'm so happy you're back. I'm so happy you're doing well.
Thank you, Master.
I'm so happy that you also are in a place where, like you said, you don't want to be the poster child for that.
Yeah.
I'm still, though, very glad you did that live, because I think you'll heal so many more people that you can ever imagine.
Yes.
But also, the Lord works in mysterious ways. You might not get your money back, but best believe.
Oh, I know my God loves me, child.
Things will be taken care of.
Oh, no, I know. I know this. I know it. I saw it through other people in my life as well. So, the world, the universe, the Lord, He knows. He records these things.
Thank you.
So it's fine. It is well.
And thank you for trusting me with your story and where you're at. I can't wait for the music. And guys, More Than You is not a romantic love song.
It's a trauma. It's a trauma song. It's a trauma response. It's a trauma response, bazalwane. Don't play it for your husbands.
What a sweet, sweet child. It's the song for our
And your
inner
wives.
children. So I'm going to actually listen to it in the car.
Literally, listen to the song.
Yes.
I'm like, people don't listen to lyrics. You guys just sing songs without listening to lyrics. I'm literally like, hold your head high. In the end, it will be all right. Which part of that goes romance?
I hope you can sing that to yourself.
I have recently.
I hope you do.
I have recently. But thank you, sis.
Moneoa, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, she is back, and I'm excited for, and I can only hope that the story inspires and moves you when you think that your life is done for. You will be surprised at how things can quickly turn around and be in your favor. Let me know who else you want to see on the Relebogile Mabotja Podcast. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Put your questions in the comments for Moneoa. I'll make her answer. And thank you for tuning in.